ready, hello, to have their mind blown. First, set your intention. Set your intention. Oil up. Tap into your goal achieved, because when you do, at the same time as listening to this pure magic, you are going to be able to get there so much faster. When like my mentor, Bob Proctor, when I first learned about this concept that I'm going to explain to you, it was like everything just started to come together. And it was so cool, like so cool. So I am going to explain to you a topic today. Like I said, it was just mind blowing. In fact, we're going to talk about the mind. Now, when I say the mind, what do you picture? And I ask what you picture because as humans, we think in pictures, right? We think in pictures. We're visuals, okay? Like, think of your car. Like, close your eyes if you have to, or don't, but think of your car. How many doors does it have? 2 doors or 1? What color's the interior? What color is the steering wheel? What side is the gas pump on? See, in order to do that, you might be sitting in your kitchen to your car. And you said, oh, my car is white. It has 4 doors. My steering wheel is black. My gas is like on the left-hand side, right? Like you go there, right? Now tell me the color of your front door and see if the same thing just happened. You went to your front door. I was like, oh, teal, right? Now, when I ask you to think about your mind, what do you picture? Do you picture your brain? Yes, most do, right? Like I would have if I didn't know any better, right? But the thing is our mind is in every single cell of our body. It's not our brain. Our brain is incredible. It's like the switching station that controls the entire the vessel that we live in, but it's not our mind. Okay? Like when I asked you to picture your car, the picture of your car was tucked away into a group of cells in your brain, right? So the moment I said, look at the car, when I asked you to do that, I triggered those cells in your brain that contained the image, which then caused the image to flash on the screen of your mind. But it's not your brain. And then a second later, I activated the cells that took you to your front door, right? But they're all stored in there. And this is a key piece. And take it from a psych major. When I first decided at 17 what I wanted to study, first I was going to tell you I wanted to help people. I've always known that. But then I decided to study psychology. And I would have told you because I find it really interesting. And I want to know why people do what they do. This is what I would have said. I'm not even kidding you. And I can tell you, 2 degrees and 1 master's later, not only did I not know others better, I could tell you parts of the brain. I can tell you about behaviors. But not only did I not know about others more, but I can honestly say, outside of being really book smart and really great at regurgitating information, I didn't know a whole lot more about myself. Seriously. You see, no one has seen the mind, and it causes a lot of confusion. But when you do, it's a game changer. So this is why I need to explain it to you. I'm going to actually draw it out. So I want to draw something for you, and it's actually from Dr. Thurman Fleet back in the 1930s. And he realized that his profession, they were not able to really do their job fully because they were treating symptoms and not the cause. And then until you can treat someone holistically and really get down to the root of what's going on, then they're never fully healed. They're never going to be fully whole. I think that that is pretty brilliant and spot on. Spot on. Right? Like our current healthcare system, we are like treating symptoms like crazy, and not necessarily getting down to the root cause of what's going on, right? Because it's easier. It's easier to take a pill. It's easier to have the surgery. It's easier to whatever, right? Like that's it's not really that's what sick care is right now, right? So here's how it's kind of explained before I go off on a healthcare tangent. Here's how it's explained. We function on 3 levels as humans. Okay, we are a spirit with an intellect, and we live in a physical body. Okay, so we know as humans, science tells us we are energy. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating. It's the law of vibration. It says nothing rests, everything moves. Okay, we know we are energy. There's even a camera that can take a picture of us energetically, right? Like we can see the vibrations coming out of us, right? So we know that we're energy. So we are spirit. We know that we have an intellect, right? I would argue that most aren't actually thinking, and I'll explain why. But then we live in a physical body, right? Like I can pinch myself. But this meat stick that I live in is just a mass amount of molecules moving at a high vibration still, okay? I live in a body, right? So your brain is a part of your body. It controls the body, controls everything. It's making my arms move. My subconscious is probably making me a hand talker, right? It tells me what I'm seeing and feeling and all that kind of stuff, right? We have all these, like your nervous system, and your body is made up of, like, it's incredible, right? So our current healthcare system, you have specialists in part of the body, right? If you have, a bladder issue, you can go see a bladder specialist or an eye specialist or a dentist for your mouth, right? Like we have specialists in part of the body. But here's the thing. Only you can be the specialist of your mind. There's psychiatrists and psychologists out there that really understand the brain. But like I said, we're not talking about the brain. We're talking about the mind. Okay. So borrowed my daughter's whiteboard here, and I'm going to explain this to you. You've probably seen this visual, but I'm going to break it down for you. Okay. Okay. So you have your mind. Okay. That's your mind. That's what it looks like. Then you have your body. There's your arms and your legs. That's you. You look great. Did you notice that this circle is bigger than this circle? And that is because your mind controls everything you do. And I'm going to explain that. Your body, everything, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it moves, the confidence it carries or doesn't carry, it is only a manifestation of what's going on up here. It is controlled entirely. But guess what? This down here is what we pay attention to. We pay attention to the way it looks. We get pissed off when it doesn't look the way we want it to look, right? We get upset at the results that it gives us, right? So because it puts us into action, right? We put all of our energy and focus into what's going on down here. But this is what Dr. Fleet was saying. We're in our current system, we are putting all of our energy into this thing here that's vibrating. Doop, 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 doop. There's all the vibrating. Okay. And we are not getting to the actual cause. We're putting a Band-Aid. This is your Band-Aid solution. So when you're like, I gotta just like work out like crazy and only eat lettuce to lose weight, release weight. And then you notice that your weight goes like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. That is because, yes, you need to do the things that serve this vessel, right? You need to take care of it. It's only, you've borrowed it for 100 years or however long you're going to be here, right? But it's yours to borrow. And I always ask myself, am I using the vessel that I've been lent properly, effectively? Okay. But that's what, you're not this vessel. You're not. If I asked you, who are you? I would say, up until yesterday, I'm Delynn. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, I am a passionate human, I believe in X, Y, and Z, right? But that's not who I am. It's what I do. But I moved into this body and I'm going to move out of it probably by the time I'm 100, right? My mom named me Delynn, but I can go down to the courthouse right now and change it. I'm not my name. I'm a wife. Just as quickly I can become not a wife, right? I'm a business owner. I could very quickly become not a business owner. I've changed careers like at least a handful of times by the time I was 30, right? So this is where you need to understand you are not this thing that you're putting all of your energy into. Because if you do, you are not going to get sustainable results. The sustainability comes from understanding this. And here you have it. And let's just say, for simplicity's sake, okay, your mind is split into two sections. You have your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind. Okay? So you, as a human, are living here. Okay? So you've got all of this energy running to and through you, right? Spirit. God, source, universe, creator, source energy, whatever you want to call it. Okay? You have this energy running through you constantly because that's what we are. And it makes us vibrate at a high rate. This energy that's coming in, it's not positive or negative. It just is. It's very neutral. Okay? What happens is when it comes in through our conscious mind, and how we take things in through our conscious mind, and every human knows this, we have our five senses. Okay? We have our five senses. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Right? Can't even read my own writing now. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So we are constantly taking in information from what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what I'm touching, right? I'm taking in all of this information. I'm reading the books. I'm going to the programs. I'm like showing up and working my 40 hours a week, right? Like I'm doing the things. But then I wonder why this thing down here, and let's just use weight release for an example, okay? Because if you can't resonate with it, you know somebody that can. I'm exercising, I'm moving my body, I'm living off lettuce, and I probably plateau, right? Because that's what I think I know to do. That's actually not how to release weight, but that's besides the point. I'm not a dietitian or a personal trainer. So, but That's not how you do it. Go talk to one of those people and they'll guide you. But anyways, I think that that's what's going to do it for me. But then when it doesn't, when I either plateau in my weight or I in fact maybe start gaining some, I wonder like what's going on, and I like blame my body. Oh, it's my hormones. Oh, it's whatever. I don't know. Outside circumstances, right? We start blaming. Oh, it's because I'm in lockdown. Oh, it's because my kids have snacks everywhere. Oh, it's because, right? We always have a reason, but we start blaming here. Fact, you know what to do. You read the book on how to do it. Maybe you met with a dietitian and they told you what to do. Maybe you bought the gym membership and you met with them and they told you what to do. Like you're full of knowledge. Maybe you went to school for it, right? Like this is what I'm saying. Like I went to school for like 7 years. And it wasn't until this was explained to me that I was like, oh, now I get it, right? All of your knowledge from all of the books, all of the things is up here in your conscious mind. But guess what? Your conscious mind isn't controlling your body. Your subconscious mind is controlling your body. Feel free to have your light bulb moment. Okay? And guess what? Your subconscious is controlling you 96 to 98% of the time. Okay? So all of your knowledge, the things you know how to do, are sitting up here. But everything that's controlling your vessel is in your subconscious. And your subconscious, that's controlling you 96% of the time, that is comprised of all of your belief systems. Right? So another example, you want to make $1 million. You read the book on how to make $1 million. You went to the seminar on how to make $1 million. And yet your bank account doesn't show $1 million. You know $1 million exists. It's just not yours. Why? Because it's not enough to know about it. It has to be ingrained in your subconscious. If you've read all the books on how to make money, yet you have a money belief that people with it are dirty and that if you have a lot of it, people won't like you, you are going to energetically reject money, because money's just energy too. You are going to. If you're constantly enthralled in the fact that you have debt and you're paying attention to what's going out of your bank account, you're not going to ever attract money in. You're not going to attract in the results that you want. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to this guy because it's a much prettier version of what I always whip out. So you have this conscious and this subconscious and your body. Okay, you are being controlled from here. And I'm never going to be able to hand you a book that says how to be controlled by how to get results by controlling your conscious mind, 100% of the time. It's not going to happen. It's not the way it works. You take everything in through your 5 senses into your conscious mind, but it's then up to you to turn it over to your subconscious mind. And that only happens in 2 ways. Emotional impact, constant spaced repetition. But that's how you put your body into motion. So this is here. These are your thoughts. These are your feelings. And these are your actions. Right? And you get to decide. But whatever you attach a feeling to, and feeling is just a word that us humans use to describe the vibration that we're in. Right? But whatever you attach a feeling to, this is what's going to put you into action, which is then going to get you your results. And it's that simple. If you are not getting the results that you want, plain and simple, you are not in love with the right idea. You are not having feelings about the right idea. You are focused on the wrong idea. And this is why I say you have to have a goal, like a clear goal. You have to know what you want. And you have to become a vibrational match for that goal. It's non-negotiable. It's so important because it's your thoughts that set up your feelings, that put you into action, that get you the results. So if you want to change your results, you have to start thinking differently. And it's as simple as that. You have to reprogram what's going on in here. Don't worry about reading more books. I mean, read books, it's important. But unless you are going to internalize them, it's useless. I had this book, Think and Grow Rich. My husband and I actually had 2 copies of it. Didn't realize that till I was doing some cleaning. I found a really, really nice copy of it too. We had 2 copies. And I said, oh, Dave, you had a copy of this too. And he goes, oh yeah, I was given that book back when I first, when I bought my first business at 19. And I'm thinking, you've had this since you were 19, right? But it was just like, he goes, well, I read it. But that's what we do as humans, right? We read the book once and then we put it back up. We go to school, we pass that course, we go to the next year, pass that year, go to the next year. At the end of it, we get a piece of paper that we can hang on our wall that says, I have a A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and a LMNOP, and a HDIQ. I don't know, right? Like we have all these, we're so obsessed with all of these letters at the end of our name. And yet, how many people do you know that aren't doing anything with it? Or maybe they landed a good job that they're miserable in and aren't getting results in it. They're going to stay there anyways because it has pension and benefits, and that's what our society is obsessed with right now. Until we realize that that's actually not security. Again, another topic. It's not enough just to get the letters at the end of your name. It has to be internalized. I know people, my husband's a really good example. He has a high school education and he's brilliant. I have some of the most brilliant conversations with him. It's probably why I married him. He's really successful in business. And yet I'm the one with all the letters at the end of my name. And I was going like, I hate my job. I got it because of all the letters at the end of my name, but I wasn't able to apply it. Right? It's not enough just to know. You have to be able to really put it to work. And this is why I am obsessed with helping people to reprogram what's going on in their subconscious mind so that they can get the results that they want. Because being stuck sucks. It sucks. It feels crappy. Being stuck doesn't feel very good. And I think we're coming into a generation of people that isn't going to be, they're all about the experience versus the letters, right? My parents' generation, my generation, more the letters. You had to do things, right? Like everyone went to university, college, or into a trade. Like it was about getting the paper so that you could get the job, right? I think we figured out that that doesn't work because like the unemployment rate wouldn't be so high, right? I have so many university grad friends that are like piecemealing together jobs to try to like make it work. But it's not about that. You can tell every single thing about a person's subconscious by the results that they're getting. If I say to you, how much money do you want to live the lifestyle that you want? And you tell me I need $1 million. And I say, well, how much are you making? And you say 100,000. Okay. If you desire $1 million, then you were meant to have it. But the reason you don't have it is because your subconscious doesn't know that you can have it because of all the stories that are in it, all the belief systems that you were programmed with. And it's not your fault that you're programmed with them, but it is our responsibility to reprogram. Right? Like our programming happened because when I was a baby, I didn't have a conscious mind. Just take that whole top off. I didn't have a conscious mind. I was just, because I had no experiences. I couldn't read yet, right? I was just like subconscious, wide open. So even take away the line, right? Subconscious, wide open, just taking everything in. And at some point, you were told money doesn't grow on trees. That you have to have a bunch of letters at the end of your name to get the job, and that's how you'll be happy. When all that happens, that's when you'll truly be happy. Security. That's how you'll be happy. Someone told you that, and it's not right or wrong, right? Everybody's just doing the best that they can with their current level of awareness, right? But your intuition knows different. That spirit, that energy running to and through you constantly, it knows different, and it knows what you're made of. You have no idea. Even the smartest scientists on this planet that are flying us to the moon have no idea what you're capable of. None. But your inner being knows what you're capable of, and it is trying to express itself constantly, which is why when you have that feeling of being stuck, when you have that feeling and that you're like in friction with yourself, it's because your subconscious is controlling you. All those stories that were programmed into you by the time you were 8 years old are controlling you, but you want something different. And that something different might go against everything you ever were taught. And that's okay. That's the beautiful part about you being in the driver's seat of your life. And you are not responsible for anybody else's results, but you are responsible for yours. No one else is responsible for your results, only you. The only people you are responsible, we've talked about responsibility for. You're responsible for and to yourself. And if you have kids under the age of, 16, 18, whatever you decide, right? You may be in a relationship. You can say, hey, let's do life together. You're responsible to them because you made a commitment, but you're not responsible for them. Your kids are 30 years old. You made them. You love them. You're responsible to them. But you're not responsible for the results anymore. They're adults, grown-ass adults, making their own decisions. They mess up. They get to learn from it. You can love them through it, but that's it. You are responsible for you, period. Period. And this is one of those visuals that helps you understand why you're getting the results that you're getting. And it's simple. It's so simple. And you can see how I have the negative and the positive, right? When our bodies are vibrating at a negative rate, like at a slower rate, when we say something, like I said, the word feel, right? That's just what us humans are saying. Like if I say I feel bad or I feel angry or I feel depressed or anxious, right? That just means I'm in a low vibration. When I say I'm happy, excited, right? That means I'm in a higher vibration. But if you're stuck over here in this negative vibration, like I said, you can give yourself pills all you want. It may even come down to what you're eating. But that is symptom treating. The true thing to do is to not read all the books on how to become not depressed or anxious. Reprogram. You can want to lose all the weight or get the job or have the $1 million. You can read all the books on how to do that, but until you reprogram the stories that you have in here about, and a lot of it comes down to self-image, it's temporary. It's temporary. That's why you see people hit the lottery and then within 5 years, they're more broke than when they started, right? And it makes so much sense. This doesn't make sense to you, reach out to me. I'm happy to explain. But it's so cool. And I know that now that I understand it and I look at myself as this guy, whenever I'm not getting the results that I want, I don't go to this. I go to studying myself. And you hear me talk about studying myself all the time. We study every single morning. Every single morning. And if you want to study with us, I'll link it up to how you can do that. But just schedule a call and let's talk about it. Let's study together. And if you really want to reprogram, you need thinking to results, like hands down. That is the program that my mentor, Bob, put his 60 years of studying this material into it. And it's brilliant. Brilliant. It's where I learned about all of it. So good. And now I'm obsessed with teaching it to others, and it's so good. And I love watching people get the results that they want. That's the best part. That's so cool. The only limits placed on you are the limits that you consciously place on you. This is why living from the inside out is so important. But as humans, we're living from the outside in. We're taking in all of what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, and taking it in. That's why I say, turn off the news and go study yourself. Turn off the news and go meditate. You can't go outside, go inside. We need to start living from the inside out. Outside in thinking how's that going? It's not, right? Humanity has never been more ill physically in our meat stick bodies, right? Our life expectancy is officially dropping, has been for a few years now. And yet we know more, right? We're oh my gosh, healthcare wise, we know more. And again, don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful for healthcare. My oldest daughter has type 1 diabetes. She wouldn't be here without fake insulin, right? My mom had a lung transplant. It's so cool. I'm so grateful for it. However, it's this symptom management that is not serving us. We need to get down to the cause of what's actually going on. Not just so that you can feel better, but that so you actually get out of you're only here for 100 years. Only. It's not very long. Are you making the most of it? Really? I want to help you make the most of it. So reach out. I'm here to serve. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a pleasure to blow your mind as we talk about the mind.